What's good? What's going on? Masculine Pulse, welcome to the channel. Go ahead and like and subscribe, share, show your love, get the word out. Okay, so one of the things, the big things, the huge things that uh, females or women have taken advantage of in males is male naivety. Um, we as males, when we're younger, we have been vulnerable to romantic love because all of Hollywood from the 1920s, 1930s, even Disney, Walt Disney, they projected the female as this vulnerable, dainty thing that just needs saving. Okay, we talk about the programming that occurred on the female, the whole Prince Charming syndrome, but there's a program that males have, but their programming is coming from the biology element you want to take care of. And when you value something, a man becomes into that, he gets into that protectiveness, the way you protect a child. So most males have viewed a female as something to protect, like he would his own child. So the love that the male exhibited towards the woman was genuine and sincere. But there's a sweet spot when you're supposed to get that love, like get that male to commit, because once the male has gone through a lot and is of a certain age, he is no longer easily, how can I put it? Once he's allowed to go through experiences and is older, he is no longer delusional, is no longer naive about what it means to be around females. But in the early days of his masculinity, he has this association with females as nurturing, caring, and so forth. And these are the biological things that a woman's supposed to provide. So the male is in his right mind to believe that a woman is worth protecting, a woman is worth all of this. But the modern day woman is not these things. But she has benefited from that idea that the male has, that I need a woman. She's going to do this for me, and I'm going to do that for her. He does not even think to question whether she will do these things, because the social contract is that she is supposed to do these things. Okay, there's an innate belief in him that she would do these things because it's just what you do, right? Kind of like guy code. Guys just look out for each other. Women can talk all day about patriarchy and misogyny and everything else, but most of my friends and family members that I've known who are similar or close to my age proximity, they live good lives. Most men were good men, just going to work, coming home, bringing home the bread, the butter, the tea, everything that was needed for the home. But females have adopted this idea that all males were toxic, and they've been manipulated to believe that males were bad. But let's forward now. Let's forward this thing a little bit. The element that females have taken advantage of is that males have operate with this mindset that my mother took care of me. If I marry somebody, they're going to take care of me. But that's not so, because female nature is only discovered after you go through some hardship, and that naivety falls off. Like scales off your face. The mask off is lifted, the veil is torn, type of thing. That's when you start to see that, hey, she wants to be protected by me, and I'm happy to protect her, but she doesn't care about me. I could be anybody. If it's not me, it's going to be the next guy. And females have proven that with phrases like, what one man won't do, another one will. If you ask him for money and he don't want to do it, get another one to do it. So that's not the basis which males are coming at the relationship dynamic. They come and says, I like you. You. I want you to be faithful to me. I want you to be loyal to me. They're thinking, okay, he's got this, he's got that, he checks the boxes. But if he refuses, then I'm going to replace him with another. So that naivety occurs oftentimes from the time a male is 18 to at least 30. Some males pick it up early, but most people pick it up after 30, that, hey, women are selfish. I'm sorry to say that. I know some might, maybe are not, but the majority are. They want what they want. And if the thing is not doing the things that they expected it to do, they're happy to jump ship. They're happy to jump ship, easily. If a woman was a supporter of a club and she was the one responsible for supporting that club, if that club is losing too much, she would leave. Let's say you support Chelsea or Manchester United. I'm using soccer terms. If that team kept losing, women would leave. But male supporters are loyal and faithful to the team because they appreciate the journey. They understand it's about winning and losing. We understand life. So the naivety for most men is what women have profited from, and I do believe that that's why even young men were still marrying, especially athletes, basketball players, NFL, were still marrying these women. They're still operating in that naivety, and women know that. Because if a man knew, if these days we got the manosphere and red pill information content, and men are waking up, I believe that historically this information was available, and then somehow it got suppressed, or we forgot, and we got taught the counterfeit that the females are perfect in nature, dainty, worth saving, because that the framework of tradition to be maintained, to be caged in. So tradition was a good thing for them because it allowed them to receive all the resources. Now they've been allowed to be off the chain and still benefit from the system because of the male's naivety. But that's no longer the case now. Men are less naive these days. We wish we could blast all this information to each and every male, but we can't. So there's still going to be males who are still naive. And sometimes it's in a lot of years that they're still naive. But for the most part, it's after you've gone through a divorce or several broken relationships, you're like, hey, I don't want this person because this person does not represent a helpmate. She represents a headache, a demand, a burden. None of the things that we're supposed to be receiving from a woman do these modern women contain. Most of them don't want to be maintained. I want this lifestyle. I want me to look a certain way. Now, of course, it's not a blanket statement. It doesn't cover every single person. There are many good women. It's just that the majority are tainted by this ideology that it's about them and then only. So much so that some even women say, if I give him a child, yeah, you need to pay me this much. You know, your grandmother will be rolling in her grave to think that a woman would say to a man, for carrying your seed after you're taking care of her, because of all these changes in my body, I better charge you. So, man, if that's the case, why do I need to do that? But the point I wanted to highlight is that there is a period where men are naive. The sooner they wake up, the better. Oftentimes, we are naive for a period of time where women are able to jump in there and say, hey, I'm a beautiful woman, everything else. And of course, once you marry them and everything else, things quickly change. But because of that naivety that's been, we've believed the lie that females are, we need to walk with caution. I'm not saying be anti-relationship, but move with caution. Respect the fact that this creature is not some type of goddess like they like to project. All nature and all good because the courts favor her when it comes to the laws. No, the naivety needs to fall off, that we can function the true nature of who we are as men and who they are as women. And if they don't fit what we're looking for, then you walk solo. And that's why most men are giving up on marriages because it doesn't make sense. It would not make sense. Peace, love, and blessings.